I'm talking about an inanimate object as if it's alive. Is this my life right now?
Hey, good day. I hope you're doing okay. I'm your hostess Collector, and welcome to the channel. As you can tell by the title, we are doing another haul unboxing. This will consist of figures and some merch. So sit back, relax, and at the end of the video, if you find yourself enjoying it, hit the like. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. And leave any sort of comment you want to leave relating to the video. Let's begin.
This product was ordered last year from Ami, shipped via service parcel, and finally arrived in April. It was expected to ship out in February, which was the start of Ami's shipping delay troubles, when I realized I'd have to wait 2 to 4 months before my package even starts its 3-month journey to my destination. I was completely aghast. Luckily it got shipped out not too long after the announcement. So all's well that ends well. Anyways, time for the unveiling. Baltimore, the bountiful tomboy heavy cruiser. Her short hair, tight abs, and imposing demeanor make her an easy favorite of mine in the game. Who wouldn't love a woman that could actually just beat them up? Who wouldn't love such an exciting woman in their life? Probably introverts who don't care for excitement, I guess. You're boring. Go outside. Well, she's not going to open herself, so I'll just go ahead and bring her out for display. No surprise that Baltimore came out as a fantastic figure, and a downright copy of the original illustration in the third dimension. There's marvelous sculpting, painting, and shading throughout this figure. Her hair has lots of strands physically indicated by the bends of the sculpt. Even parts of it has been braided and it looks solid. Her eye and eyebrow decals match the face sculpt to a T. Wrinkles on the jacket's arms feel realistic, and the lower part of it has been modeled to effectively portray it flowing in the wind. And it's not just the modeling of the jacket, but all the text on it is clear and readable. The clothing material wraps around her melons well, and the slight wrinkles at the center simulating how it would go in reality adds to the image of it being stretched fabric. The undermelons view is also quite appealing. Look at her abs. See how the modeling and light shading makes part of her core feel so strong. I almost want to lick it. The thigh highs have such dynamic painting. I simply adore the gradients on the ends and at the kneecaps. All the metallic bits have the trademark gloss on it, distinguishing them from the rest of the figure. A wonderful figure for a wonderful tomboy heavy cruiser. I couldn't ask for a better vanilla outfit, Baltimore. Alter cannot fail, it seems. I have about 3 figures with them before this, and not a single one has given me a chance to be any sort of wary. I can almost guarantee a solid product with them every time. This was bought in January from Solaris, Japan, and was shipped via service parcel, because I'm a cheapskate who values my money. It arrived in just about 8 weeks. I chose to buy this item from here as I wanted the option to undervalue, but missed the window for the figure on Big in Japan and most major stores in China at the time. The markup price was not great, but not too bad, and shipping was fine too. Wasn't fun when they asked for more after they received the figure, but what can you do? Just don't buy from them next time. Yeah, fair enough. I'll just unveil the figure now.
Graf Zeppelin is who I can describe as the generic villain that wants to destroy the world type. And I love her for it. Her cold disposition, facial tone, and hair, because it's white, are great displays of how committed your Star Wars to emphasizing her villainy. One would be wise to keep her confined in her cardboard prison. For resale purposes, of course, one would be wise to keep her confined in her cardboard prison. But she turns me on. One would be wise to keep her confined in her cardboard prison. But this is her in her beach attire, where we can expect a calmer and more composed version of herself. Safe to say she'll be better behaved. I am talking about an inanimate object as if it's alive. Is this my life right now? The presence she has when placed next to the other 1/7 scale figures on the shelf is significant. Not only by her general size, because look at her next to Baltimore. She's not even fully upright. But the size of her hair. Her hair carries the majority of the figure's weight. It's so heavy that the instructions advise you to use support rods for them, which is unfortunate aesthetically, but very much needed. I might have done something wrong though, as only one of the support rods is holding her hair. The other doesn't seem to reach. Weight aside, it's quite the sight. Her hair is so busy, yet feels almost real with its partings. An intriguing choice is how they made some strands translucent and others opaque. But it adds to the aesthetic and it further displays the hair variety, at least in my opinion. I spent a lot of time talking about the hair, so let's move on. As is expected from Malta, her face decals match the face sculpting to a T. Beachside outfit is alluring, with the lingerie patterns and the skin gaps. The material on her packages have stretch fabric sculpting, helping to emphasize the sheer size of her melons. The jacket draped behind her is very striking with the red, which enhances the color palette of the overall image. The fur behind it uses a more saturated white and a different style of modeling to replicate fur to distinguish it from the hair. Skin is appealing. Her legs look so clean and tasty. The heels are charming, and the patterns wrapping on her leg have been sculpted well. The developers even added toe marks for each foot, which if left out, I feel most people wouldn't mind. The commitment to realism is something to behold. The magic from the illustration has been included in this figure, which is so cute. It can either hold her hat or just float there with her hat being on Graf's head instead. It's really the interactability that makes me appreciate a figure the most. An absolute fantastic figure, which is nothing out of the ordinary for Alta figures. Aoi Tori High School Illustration 6 is an A4 sized art book by the artist Johnson, and features various schoolgirls engaging in different activities, such as tennis and cheerleading. Elim House is a B5 sized art book featuring the mascot characters of the artists Bia and Capering, donning different outfits in various settings. Here's a shirt featuring one of Ayuma-san's OCs, bought from booth via the Yamosibin web store. This was bought from, you can tell, and shipped via, at this point you already know. It got sent in February and actually arrived a week before the other Amiyami package I received. Some engaging trivia about this one. Insanity. That's the best word I can use to describe Toga's whole persona. What other My Hero Academia student brought an eerie and menacing presence like she did?
Well, I can think of a few like Stain, Shigaraki, Overhaul. One character I felt represented the best of the villains in this series perfectly was her, and as such, here she is in my room, ready to be presented to you all. This is my first Spirit Tail figure, and I have to say, it's a pretty solid one. Toga looks just as good as she does in the prototype images. The manufacturers captured the cute yet eerie face perfectly. Eye decals match the face sculpt as does the mouth and tongue. This figure comes with two faceplates and they both look great. Hair sculpting is admittedly very simple, excluding the fringe, but it gets the job done. Her Seifuku looks natural with the folds complementing her movement. The needle canisters, tanks, utility boxes, and toothy black mask are all decently portrayed. Let me just get this out of the way. This figure looks flat, as it lacks a lot of shading. It really could have made some parts stand out if included, as the modeling overall is pretty good, but alas. Her base is the major selling point, and it really seems like it when you're viewing it in person. All sorts of plush toys, apparel, snacks, accessories, and random stuff are bundled up together, some even being stabbed by knives. It all comes together to make this throne a distinct imagery of Toga's persona. Let's not forget the chains that you manually put on yourself. I do have to say, the stuffing of the bear does look a bit like toothpaste. It could have done with a better render, but a minor nitpick. Making the lights actually light up or glow in the dark would have been a great addition, but it just wasn't meant to be, I guess. It's a good figure. Some shading and stronger modeling of the stitching and hair could have elevated this to a great figure, but I like it regardless. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you found yourself enjoying it, hit the like button, and if you want to see more videos like this or anything that I post, hit the subscribe button. And feel free to leave a comment on anything relating to this video. That's about everything from me, so I'm just going to